The Prisoner of Azkaban is easily in top 3 of my favorite Harry Potter movies. The plot, cinematography, build-up characters, and overall everything was on point. However, in this video we'll be talking about 10 things in The Prisoner of Azkaban that don't make sense if you didn't read the book. So let's begin. Starting first with Harry's fireball. At the end of the movie, Harry receives the fireball's broomstick from Sirius. In fact, the very last shot is a freeze frame of Harry's face as he flies away. However, the fireball scene seems pointless in the movie as the Quidditch season is over. Like, why add in it if we're not gonna see a single scene of Harry using it on the pitch? Add to the fact that there is no Quidditch in the next year, nor the year after. In the book, however, Harry receives the gift much earlier in the year, but he doesn't know who it's from. This adds to the mystery of what is going on at Hogwarts and the suspense of Sirius Black, as Hermione assumes Sirius sent the broomstick as an attempt to hex Harry, so McGonagall took it from him to examine it, and then she did hand it back to him, where Harry used it in his remaining Quidditch matches. The significance of Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. This is one of the biggest things in the Prisoner of Azkaban movie that disappointed me. While Harry does receive the Marauders map from Fred and George, it's never explained that it was Harry's father and his friends who made the map. Yes, we got to see their nicknames on it, but with just the movie you'll never figure out who are those guys. The significance of this map and of these characters is never talked about. The whole storyline about how the Marauders turned into Animagi and got into the Shrieking Shack is also left out. Sirius screams, "Never lies!" But no one ever asked how he knew that. But in the book, he was unknown at first, but then in the Shrieking Shack, everything was revealed by Sirius and Remus. The history of the Shrieking Shack. As mentioned before, the Shrieking Shack isn't really explained in the movies. It's assumed to be some sort of a haunted house with people hearing voices and noises there. Yet almost at the end of the movie, the trio ended up in that place. Nobody explained why they didn't hear any voices or why people always claimed it was a haunted place. But in the book, Remus explained that the Shrieking Shack was only used so that he would have a place for his monthly transformation into a werewolf, in a secret and safety. During the time he was a student attending Hogwarts, Madame Pomfrey used to escort him into the Shrieking Shack before his transformation. The yells and shouts heard by the villagers were really Lupin biting and scratching himself due to lack of humans to infect. Without these details in the movie, it's less clear what this building is or how it can be accessed. 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐒 point in the story. 𝐒𝐒𝐁𝐒 is another player in the plot of the book who doesn't really feature in the movie. While in the film, he's mostly just there as a pet. In the book, 𝐒𝐒𝐁𝐒 met Sirius Black in his Animagus form and immediately took a trusting of him and tried to help him get into the castle. 𝐒𝐒𝐁𝐒 also helped Sirius lure Harry, Ron, and Hermione into the Shrieking Shack, and he was present there with everybody. He's actually rather essential in the book. While it might be hard to explain in a movie about how a cat would do this, not including these details does make 𝐒𝐒𝐁𝐒 nothing more than a pet, while in fact he wasn't. In the movie, the rules of using underage magic are a bit confusing. There doesn't seem to be a lot of consistency in these rules and how they are applied. In Prisoner of Azkaban, we see Harry practicing the Loomis spell in his room at the start of the movie, which is something confusing as we know he's not allowed to use magic outside of Hogwarts. This is actually not the first time it happened. Hermione did that more than once in other movies, but then Harry blows Aunt Marge up. He was worried about getting in trouble for doing magic, but this was never really explained, like why he wasn't expelled from Hogwarts. But in the book, the no intentional magic was explained, meaning that Harry got away with blowing up Aunt Marge because he didn't do it on purpose. There was accidental magic. It would be unfair to punish someone for an accident. That's probably not the main reason. In reality, at the time the Ministry believed that Harry was being targeted by Sirius Black and went into a panic when Harry disappeared. Fudge is so relieved to find Harry at the Leaky Cauldron that he doesn't press charges. But during the Order of Phoenix, Harry was being branded as a dangerous lunatic for contradicting the Ministry line on Voldemort's return, so they had the chance to try to expel him permanently from Hogwarts and make him an outcast in the wizarding world. Why everyone thought Sirius killed the Potters. The entire story of how Peter Pettigrew was the one who betrayed James and Lily really isn't explained that well. In the book, we learned that the Potters were protected by the Fidelius Charm and that Sirius was their sacred keeper. It's explained that they were convinced to change the sacred keeper to Pettigrew at the last moment, but Peter, being a coward, disloyal person, he betrayed betrayed him and fled away, leaving Sirius on the crime scene when the Ministry arrived, and he was framed for everything, including killing Peter himself. While all of the details may have been hard to explain in a movie, it did make it hard to understand why Sirius was thought to be the bad guy when he had actually been Pettigrew all along. The fact Backpick seems to be the only hippogriff. Backpick was introduced in the movie as a very unique creature, leaving movie watchers asking if there are any other hippogriffs around. But in the book, it's made clear that there are a lot of hippogriffs in the world. When Hagrid introduced his Care of Magical Creatures class to them, they studied the hippogriffs, and there were a lot of them around. While watching the movie, there are many occasions where it seems like Sirius really is trying to kill Harry like everyone thinks. In the book, all of these situations are explained. In the movie, Sirius appeared in Little Whingin in his Animagus form to attack Harry. He showed up in a Quidditch match before the arrival of the Dementors, and broke into the Gryffindor dormitory to kill Harry. Well, at least as everyone believed. But in the book, it was explained that Sirius went to Little Whingin so he can say hi to Harry, but was scared to threaten him. He showed up in the Quidditch match to have a glimpse of Harry flying on a broomstick because he reminded him of his best friend James, and he broke into the dormitory because he was trying to kill Pettigrew. In the movie, they don't take near as much time to explain how all of the details connect and how the Sirius was innocent. For number 9, I wanted to add one about the Time Turner, but it's complicated and it needs a lot of explanation. However, while in the book, Dumbledore made very clear that time travel is quite dangerous. Hermione stresses the fact that it's essential that their past selves don't see them. If this happens, it could have severe consequences. This made sense, but in the movie, Hermione literally throws a rock at Harry's past self to try to get them to move, where she broke every rule the book made about time travel. Last but not least, we're talking about Sirius Black. Little is known about Azkaban prison, aside from the fact that it's one of the most threatening and miserable places. But what about the tattoos that Sirius Black has on him after his escape from Azkaban? Tattoos haven't been a part of the wizard culture, as far as the audience has seen before this. And how exactly did the wizards at Azkaban have the tools or skills required to make them? Maybe Sirius has those tattoos before going to Azkaban. He was 22 years old, by the way. However, neither the book nor the movie explain this thing. If you want to watch similar videos I've made before, click on this playlist over here. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.